Hello, welcome to our presentation about chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Our group members are Josie Gomez, Nataly Torres, and Agatha Santos. Next, I'd like to go into some background of COPD. Chronic obstructive pulmonary disease is a chronic inflammatory lung disease that causes obstructed airflow from the lungs. COPD affects lungs by removing the elasticity of them and overexpands them, which leaves air trapped in your lungs when you exhale. The typical symptoms include difficulty breathing, chronic cough, mucus, wheezing, chest tightness, frequent respiratory infections, lack of energy, unintended weight loss that contribute in later stages, and swelling in ankles, feet, or legs. Emphysema and chronic bronchitis are two of the most common conditions that contribute to COPD. These two conditions usually occur together and can vary in severity among individuals with COPD. Although COPD is a progressive disease that gets worse over time, COPD is treatable. With proper management, most people with COPD can achieve good symptom control and quality of life, as well as reduced risk of other associated conditions. The agent of COPD is mostly cigarette smoke and other irritants, although it is possible for non-smokers to develop COPD without these specific exposures. The main cause of COPD in developed countries is tobacco smoking. In the developing world, COPD often occurs in people exposed to fumes from burning fuel for cooking and heating in poorly ventilated homes. This disease typically affects long-time/chronic smokers. Though people who have a history of childhood respiratory infections, smoke exposure, those with a history of asthma, people with underdeveloped lungs, those who are 40 and older since lung function declines as a person ages can also get diagnosed with COPD. Chronic obstructive pulmonary disease is not infectious, but it is a progressive disease. The disease makes breathing increasingly more difficult, even though it develops very slowly. Most people with COPD do not have noticeable symptoms until they reach their late 40s or 50s. After thorough research, there weren't any countries that stated COPD was an endemic, though COPD is one of the most common reasons of hospital admission in the United Kingdom. And it is the third lead cause of worldwide death, causing 3.23 million deaths in 2019.
Let's delve into the significant statistics on COPD. In the year 2020, in the United States alone, 12.5 million people, accounting for 5.0% of adults, were reported to have a diagnosis of COPD. Zooming out to the global perspective, based on the GOLD definition, the global prevalence in 2019 was 10.3%, equating to roughly 391.9 million cases amongst individuals aged 30 to 79 years. And 7.6% or 292 million cases more generally. Unfortunately, despite thorough research, we were unable to locate specific information regarding the incidence rate of COPD, both globally and nationwide. Moreover, understanding these statistics is crucial as it guides us to target interventions effectively to curb the impact of COPD on public health. Moving on to the morbidity and mortality rates of COPD. COPD is a prevalent and serious health concern as it stands as the third leading cause of death worldwide. In 2019 alone, COPD was responsible for 3.23 million deaths globally. It has a mortality rate of 105 age-adjusted deaths per 100,000 population, emphasizing its severe impact. The population above 65 years of age witnesses the most casualties, making up 86% of COPD-related deaths. Death rates have been decreasing among every 10-year age group aged 55 and older. However, there has been a different trend for those aged 85 and older. An increase was observed from 1999 to 2017, before experiencing a decline in the subsequent 3 years. Analyzing gender-specific trends reveals stark disparities. Men experienced a substantial 32% decrease in COPD death rates from 1999 to 2020, falling from 57.4 to 39.2 per 100,000 population, Women, on the contrary, have not seen any significant change in their COPD death rates during the same period, indicating a flat trend. Despite the general decline in COPD death rates for men and the stable rates for women, we observed conspicuous spikes in 2005 and 2008 for both genders. This calls for further investigation to identify any causal factors or unique circumstances that may have contributed to these sudden increases. COPD continues to be a significant global health concern, especially among older populations. It is crucial to extend our understanding and develop more effective measures to curb COPD morbidity and mortality, improving overall public health.
Prevention and control efforts. COPD isn't curable, but there are treatments to lower the impact it has on your life. Some of these treatments are bronchodilators, also known as inhalers. They also have the option of inhaled steroids, and this is to help reduce swelling in airways so people can breathe easier. Some more intensive treatments are oxygen therapy and surgery. Surgery can involve removing diseased parts of the lung or even getting a lung transplant, but this is usually a last resort option. The easiest way to prevent COPD is to not smoke, but unfortunately this isn't always a choice for people. Secondhand smoke can be a risk factor, and many children don't have a choice in whether they secondhand smoke. That is why programs that help quit smoking can be a way of prevention for the younger generations. Kick It California is a program that helps people quit smoking. It has a text program that sends people messages at critical times in their quit journey. It also has a personal quit plan and provides free nicotine patches to those who qualify. Another feature that they have is one-on-one coaching for people who need that level of support. The program is completely free, which makes it accessible to those who are low income. Another option some may have is a program that the American Lung Association has. They have two options. One is a group program and the other is an online program. They are both good choices, but they do have a cost to them. The online program actually costs about $100, so this is not a possibility for many people who live in a low-income household. Some people may want to take part in this program because paying for it will make them more inclined to follow through the entire 6-week program. Lastly, an option that people have to help them quit smoking are quit lines. We have a national quit line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, and a state quit line that is unique to each state. And these quit lines are useful because they can offer support like counseling, referrals to local programs, and free medication. Our next slide is another form of prevention. PSAs are meant to create awareness about a behavior. A PSA about COPD will create more awareness about the dangers of smoking and what it could lead to. We have attached an example of one of these PSAs.
I had chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, includes emphysema, chronic bronchitis, and full-blown pneumonia. I have to run around with this cannula on my face. It tells everybody there's something up. And some of them are actually bold enough to ask, why is that? And I tell them, I just tell them straight out, it helps me breathe, and it's because I smoked. Instead of now trying to decide, okay, where can I smoke? When can I smoke? I've just put new things, and it's how much oxygen do I need? Where am I going? And it's always going with me. I'm used to, you want to go do something? You get in the car, you go. You go do it, whatever it is. You're able to go and do that. But I cannot be without the oxygen. It goes with me. The option of taking off the air and continuing forward with me does not exist.
That concludes our presentation for COPD. Here's a list of the references that we have used for our presentation.